So student, today we are going to study more about media, the medium through which data travels. Last class, we discussed about wired media, where the physical medium is required in the form of wire or glass to send the data from one place to another place. Today in this class, we'll be learning about wireless computer media. So basically, when you talk about wireless, the name itself it describes it. It's without a wire. So now the question arises, if it does not use a physical medium like a wire, then how the data is sent? So the answer is through the environment itself, the air which surrounds us everywhere. The way the sound waves are transmitted, the same way these things are utilized. These mediums are utilized. But there are many methods. There are many categories. We can use radio waves to send the data. We can use microwave. We can use infrareds, visible light, ultraviolets, X-ray, gamma ray. There are many choices. So first of all, we need to understand about their frequencies. Now, when you talk about frequency, radio wave is having the smallest frequency. Then the frequency of microwave is higher. Then the infrared, then visible light, ultraviolet, and gamma. Now, for our communication networking purposes, we utilize radio waves, microwaves, and infrared. These three types of signals are used for wireless propagation of data. Now, let's learn about microwave. Microwave, it's a very high frequency wave and it is used to transmit the data wirelessly over a very long distance. Now, how we send the data using microwave technology? We use antenna. Very high antennas are placed in line of sight. When you talk about line of sight, it means the antennas are facing each other in a straight line. And the dishes which are there on the antenna, they are at a great height, so that there will be very little obstacles which will be coming in the way of the waves that is sending the data. Basically, microwave, it always travels in a straight line and it cannot penetrate any solid object. So for long distance microwave communication, high tower are built, because if you see the landscape, the demography of any place, there are mountains are there, buildings are there, so many things are there which can cause problems for the microwave transmission. As it is a very high frequency signal, it cannot penetrate the solid object. So at that, if it gets any hindrance in its path, then the wave will not propagate. It will stop at that place. So for that reason, we use very high antennas, and those antennas, they send the data from one place to another place. At the same height, you will find the receiving antennas also, or antennas at some distance, which is sending the data to the next antenna. In this environment, so in this network environment, we having transmitters, receivers, and atmosphere. Now we need to understand what these words means. Transmitter, it transmits, it sends the data. Receiver, it receives the data. Whatever the transmitter is sending, it receives it. And the atmosphere, it is the medium through which the data, the microwave, it's propagating. Where we utilize it in real life, we may use it for mobile phone communication. For mobile phone calls, we can use these microwave signals. In this picture, you can see how the arrangement are being done. There is an antenna, there is a very big tower. On that top of the tower, there is an antenna, and in a straight line facing that antenna is the receiver's antenna. So both the transmitter and receiver, they are at the same height, they are in the same line of sight, so that microwave will travel in a straight line and take the data with it. Next one is radio wave. Now radio, we all are very familiar. Earlier days we are having all India radios, nowadays we are having FMs, 98.5, 96.7. Many metros, they provide these FM services, and that service is provided using radio waves. So basically radio waves are used to transmit television and radio programs. The data which is being sent by the satellite is being captured using radio signals. For the TVs, for the radios, we use Wi-Fi and Bluetooth in this technology. I remember somebody asked me a few days back, if you are making a network using your phone and laptop, what kind of networking it is? It is a fan, and it uses a radio wave or infrared, depending upon the technology which is there, which it is utilizing. It may use radio wave also to connect with nearby devices, or it can use micro infrared also. Now, radio wave, they are omnidirectional and can penetrate solid objects. These waves, they are omnidirectional. Once the transmitter is sending the data, rather than going in a straight line fashion, it propagates in 360-degree manner. It will move in all directions. So everybody which is tuned at that frequency will able to receive the data. Also, these radio waves, they can penetrate solid object and move through it. Third type of medium that we utilize to send the data is infrared waves. Now, infrared waves, they are kind of waves which can use for short range communication, 5 to 10 meters, and they are greatly utilized in our home appliances and with computers also. There are cordless mouse, there are remote control devices. So how they are working? They are using infrareds. The remote at your home, the TV remote, they are also using infrared. You can see that once you are pressing the remote buttons, you will see a red light which is coming out of the remote. So that red light, it's creating that infrared there. The receiver, it recognizes those infrared waves at a particular frequency and translate it into a command or a signal. Now, very important thing is that these infrared waves, they do not pass through the solid object. What does it mean? Suppose you want to connect your phone with your computer, then both of them should be nearby. It should not be like that the phone is in another room and the computer is in different room. It's not like that the communication will not happen, but it will deteriorate to a great strength. Now, advantage, what is the advantage of infrared system is that if there are many infrared signals which are in the same building, same room, then they do not interfere with each other. One infrared wave or a signal, it is independent of any other infrared which are there in the nearby environment. So they do not get affected by any other signal or data. It is a line of sight transmission. So information passed to one device is not leaked to another device. So whenever you are communicating, whenever you are trying to network two devices using infrared, so they should be in line of sight. They should be in the same height. They should be in the same straight line. And the data that you are sending to one device, it will not be accessed by any other devices. Next one, a very important wireless medium is satellite or satellite microwave. Now, where we are utilizing this kind of communications for a very long distance wireless communications. Transmission from Earth to a satellite is uplink, and transmission from satellite to Earth is called a downlink. Suppose once we all see the TV serials, now how the TV serials are broadcasted. So they are using a satellite, a specific satellite, which is providing all these services. So before providing the uh, data, you will have to upload it on the network. So that part is called uplinking, and the frequency is 1.6 gigahertz to 30 gigahertz. And once we are viewing the serials or the channels, then it is called downlinking. The data is sent or broadcasted to all the devices simultaneously. What is the benefit of it? It covers a very large area of Earth. This kind of communication medium, it covers a very large geographical area. So suppose in a particular area, the terrain is very difficult. It's very difficult to set up a local network there on the ground. So in those cases, in those hilly areas, which are very difficult to access, we can get benefit from the satellite communication. What is the downside of it? It is very, very, very expensive. Also, you will be need to be having legal permissions to utilize this satellite. Now we are going to learn about networking devices. Abhi hum, up to now we learned about networking in medias and mediums, how the data is sent. But the medium itself is not sufficient. Medium will carry the data, but to send the data to the receiver, it needs a connector. It needs a mechanism. Or to transmit the data for a very long distance, you will be needing different kind of devices. So about all those devices we'll be learning here. Those devices are modem, RJ45 connectors, Ethernet card, router, switch, gateway, Wi-Fi card. The list is not very extensive, but these are the important devices that we should know about. Apart from these, there are thousands of devices which are utilized, which is not listed here, and they are outside of your curriculum and syllabus. But these devices, they are the most important one, and they are utilized very extensively in any network environment. So first of them is modem. Now modem is two word. That MO, up to MO, it means modulator, and after that DEM, it stands for demodulator. So modem, the whole word is modulator and demodulator. So I will just explain it using a small picture, what exactly is a modem. Now, where we utilize modem, to understand that, we need to understand how internet works. Suppose this is your computer. Now, this computer, it want to utilize internet. So many times we use phone data line. So those phones, this is a phone system. Now that phone system, it carries the data. This is the internet part. From here, the internet starts. Now you understand, this computer, it is a digital device. It works with digital data. Now this phone, it is work with analog data, sound. So there is a difference between how this computer works, how this phone works. So in between, we need something which will make the translation from digital to analog data and then analog to digital data. When this computer has to send a data to the internet, then it will be sending in the form of digital data. Here we can put a modem. So from here the digital data are being passed. Now modem, what will do, it will change this digital data into analog data so that this phone can utilize it and send it to the internet. So this is one part where we are sending the signal to the internet. Now, when we are receiving something, this internet, it works with digital medium totally. So the data which is being sent here in the computer, it will be in the digital form, binary data. Now this modem, what it does, from this internet, digital data is sent in the form of analog data because it's a phone line. From here, internet, this is digital data which is sent in the form of analog data. Now modem, what it will do, it will demodulate. It will change this analog data into a digital form so that the computer can utilize it. So modulator, it does two things. It modulates the data so that the data you are sending from your computer will go to the internet through the phone lines, and it also demodulates what you are getting through your phone lines for the use of your computer system. So this is the use of modem. Basically, it's a hardware component that allow a computer or another device such as router or switch to connect the internet. Now we know that phone line works on analog signal while computer works on digital signal. The role of model is to convert digital to analog and then analog to digital form. So whenever whichever translation is required, it will do that for the connecting devices. It simply modulates and demodulates analog and digital signals into each other as and when required. So next one is RJ45 connector. So basically RJ45 connectors we utilize in Ethernet signals. It means registered jack. Registered jack 45 is a standard type of physical connector for network cable. RJ45 connector are most commonly seen in Ethernet cable. You can see it in your computer lab. You will see one plastic cap is there at the end of the blue wire or a white wire where there are some data lines. So they are mostly utilized with Ethernet cables and they are used to connect that cable with the computer. Next is Ethernet card. Ethernet card is also called the NIC card, Network Interface Card. So what it does, it is a device which is attached to the workstation of computer and server, and they help us to establish connection with the network. So basically NIC, it is the control center for all the networking activity in the computer. Whatever signals it is getting, it will understand it, it will change it so that computer can utilize it in its system. The RJ45 connector that you are putting into your system, it connects with the NIC itself. Where you are putting the RJ45 wire in your computer, that slot is part of RJ NIC card. You can see that there are some slots in this picture. See on this side, this is the slots where the wire will be inserted, and then NIC will understand all the networking work which is going through the signals and do it in the computer. So each NIC which is attached to a workstation has a unique number identifying it. It's called a MAC address. Every NIC, it's having a unique number, hexadecimal number, and it's called its physical address or the MAC address. This MAC address is utilized. Suppose I want to send the data to some another computer. So I will have to provide the address of that computer. So we provide a logical address, and later on that logical address is converted to a physical address or a MAC address, and then the data is sent to a specific devices. So basically this interface card, it provides the address to the computer, and all the networking related work will be done by this NIC card. Next important device is router. Understand the name, route. Route means the way, the path, and router, it is the device which selects the path. So basically it's a device that work like a bridge but can handle different protocol, is known as router. So the main purpose of router is to sorting and distribution of data packet to their destination based on their IP addresses. Whatever data you are sending, the system, it will understand the logical address, and then it will send the data by following a particular path to the destination. Router, it uses logical address, and bridge, it uses physical address. We'll be seeing about bridge very shortly. So router is a device which is used to send the data over the network by using the logical address of the destination. Now next one is hub. So to understand hub, you can relate it with a switch, electrical switch, where we can put different, like if you want to start a TV, put the in that slot. If you want to start a refrigerator, put that in that slot. So it provides that slots where we can utilize the services. So basically it's an electronic device that connects several nodes from network and redirect the received information to all connected node in broadcast mode. Suppose this is a hub. If I want to make a network, then I can, how I can connect. Suppose these two computers, I want to make a network. I can take a wire from this computer to that computer. It is connected. Now suppose I want to make a network for 3 computers. Now this will be the fashion. If I want to have 4 computers, then again I will have to wire them together. Now rather than doing this method where the cabling will be extensive, I can use a hub. So hub provides slots for connecting different computer over network. So I can add PC1, PC2, PC3, PC4, PC5, PC6. I can add many of them, 6, maybe 12, maybe 18. So suppose now PC1, it want to interact with PC5. So PC1 send the data to the hub. It does not send it to the PC5. PC1 send the data it is intended to send to the hub, and now this hub, it will send or broadcast the data to all the computers. So this one also, to this one also, this one, and this one. Since it is intended for PC5 only, the PC5 will take the data and work. The rest of the devices, they will discard the data. They will not accept it because the addressing was not given for PC5. So this hub, it is simply provide a mechanism for connecting different nodes of network, and also help us with interchange of data between different nodes. So basically we are using hub to increase the number of computer and allow them to communicate with each other. Using a hub, I can connect many nodes together, and then they can form a network and communicate with each other. Now, one important thing to understand is that the hub is a dumb device. It means it does not have any intelligence of its own. It simply forwards the message that it receives to all the devices. It does not do any kind of filtering or does not look for the logical addresses. It simply broadcasts whatever it receives. Everything it is receiving will simply broadcasting to every other node of the hub. Whichever device want to utilize that data, it will accept it. The rest of the nodes, they discard the data. Now there can be two types of hubs. We are having active hubs and we are having passive hubs. So active hub, suppose when you are sending the data to the hub, it may happen that the data will degrade by passing through that medium. It will lose its strength. So the active hub, it will again regenerate the data before broadcasting it to any other device. In contrast to that, passive hubs, it does not do anything. It simply broadcasts whatever data is being received. If the data is weakened, then it will transmit that weak data itself. It will not regenerate it. So this is about hubs. Next, we are having switches. Basically, switch is called an intelligent hub. It is a hub which works like a hub, but it has got some intelligence of its own, which is implemented using some programming techniques. It also connects multiple devices in the network, but it does not broadcast the data like a hub. Suppose I want to send the data from PC1 to PC5, so the switch will not broadcast the data to every other node on the network. It will send the data only to PC5 because the switch is having a MAC table in it. Whichever computers are attached to it, they are having a MAC addresses. So that MAC address is listed in the switch, and then it will check the addresses, and according to the address that you are sending with your packet, it will transmit the data. After the switch, the last device is gateway. Now, gateway is important because it helps us to communicate or network different type of networks. Because suppose we are creating a network, there the data formats will be different because the involved computers, devices, they are of different vendors. Now, if I want to connect with some other network, then they can use some different kind of data mechanism. So the gateway, it help us to communicate between two dissimilar network. It is a device which is used to connect different type of network and perform necessary translation so that the connected network can communicate properly. So network one, it is sending data in a specific format. Then gateway, it will send or translate the data so that the another network can understand it. And now when the next network is sending the data in its format, then again it will translate so that the using network may understand it. Basically, we utilize gateways on LAN whenever we are connecting it with the internet. You can see it in the pictures. We are having a office, then we are having phone networks, we are having different type of networks, and then in between there is a gateway, which is actually doing the translation work and ensuring that the data is of the network type of the destination address. So these are the networking devices. Some more networking devices we will, one more is there. Let us wrap it up. Another is Wi-Fi card. Few minutes before I told you about NIC card, network interface card, which is having a MAC address too. But that NIC card will help me when I want to network my computer using a wired media by using a cable. Now, if I want to do it same using a wireless medium, then I need a Wi-Fi card. It is similar to a Ethernet card, but it allows computer to connect with other devices without wire. So basically, Wi-Fi cards will be using only when they are using wireless connectivity. Now, Wi-Fi card, it could be internal, it could be external. Internal, most of the computer and laptops, they now come embedded with these cards, Wi-Fi cards. And suppose your computer is like little out of date, you can simply purchase a Wi-Fi device. It costs around 150, 200 to 500 rupees, and then simply plug it into your ports where you put the pen drive or the different slots are there. There you simply put the Wi-Fi device and then it will install the drivers and your computer will be ready to use the wireless network. It allows to connect our devices to hotspots available. Now, hotspot also it is used in the wireless medium itself. What is the advantage? It allows computer to become part of a network without being actually physically connected through it. Why? So if I using a Wi-Fi card, then I do not have to use wires. I do not need to carry wires, and I can connect with any other network very easily. Take an example. Suppose in my office I use a network, a wired network, and now I'm moving to some other location. Now in the railway station, now I want to connect with the network internet. There, this Wi-Fi card will be very useful because the network itself is wireless, and this card it will do all the work of understanding the data and transmitting the data also. So students